Hello and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the day's top headlines. Perpetrators of Delhi riots will be punished irrespective of caste, religion and political affiliation, says Home Minister Amit Shah in Rajya Sabha in reply to discussion on recent violence in Delhi. Also invites opposition leaders for discussion to clear misconception about NPR and CAA. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appeals to people to be cautious about coronavirus, tweets that government is fully alert and taking all necessary precautions. MEA asks Indians abroad to avoid travel and stay where they are. All incoming visas till the 15th of April suspended. "74 cases of coronavirus confirmed in the country so far. Delhi government orders all schools and colleges shut until the 31st of March. Air India cancels flights to Rome, Milan and Seoul. Stock markets across the world plunge after coronavirus is declared a pandemic. Outbreak also impacts sporting events worldwide. Rajya Sabha passes Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code's Second Amendment Bill 2020. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says government committed to protect rights of home buyers and MSMEs. Mineral Law Amendment Bill 2020 also passed. And several leaders filed nomination papers for election to 55 seats of Rajya Sabha on the 26th of March. Union Minister Ramdas Athavale files papers from Maharashtra. Udayan Raje Bhosle and Digvijay Singh file papers from Madhya Pradesh. Union Home Minister Amit Shah asserted on Thursday that those responsible for the recent riots in Delhi will be brought to book irrespective of their caste, religion and also their political affiliations. Replying to a short duration discussion in the Rajya Sabha, the Home Minister said more than 700 FIRs have been registered and over 2,600 people arrested based on evidence.
सदन को और सदन के माध्यम से देश को भी विश्वास दिलाने चाहता हूं कि दंगों के करने वाले, दंगों के लिए जिम्मेदार लोग और दंगों के लिए षड्यंत्र करने वाले लोग चाहे किसी भी जाति के हो, किसी भी मजहब के हो, किसी भी पार्टी के हो, उनको बख्शा नहीं जाए। जो भी दोषित होगा उसको एक पारदर्शी वैज्ञानिक जांच के आधार पर कानून की अदालत के सामने खड़ा किया जाएगा और सिर्फ खड़ा नहीं किया जाएगा, प्रोसिक्यूशन एजेंसी जब तक कानून उनको दंडित न करे तब तक की सारी व्यवस्थाओं की चिंता बहुत गंभीरता और संजीदगी के साथ करेगी।
Amit Shah added that a detailed scrutiny of videos of the riots is being done and the driving license, voter ID data is being used in facial identification software. He said 1,922 faces have been identified so far using the software.
हमने लंबे समय तक इसका रिपीटेशन न हो, इसके लिए दिल्ली में दंगाइयों से जुर्माना वसूलने के लिए भी एक प्रस्ताव रजिस्ट्रार जनरल दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट को हमने दे दिया है। क्लेम कमिश्नर की नियुक्ति का मान्यवर आपके माध्यम से सदन को और देश को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं, ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं करी जाएगी जिससे दंगा करने वाले को किसी भी साइड का हो, किसी भी धर्म का हो, किसी भी पार्टी का हो, किसी भी जाति का हो, इसको किसी भी प्रकार की रियायत मिल जाए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं किया जाएगा।
On the rumors being fueled across the country related to CAA, NRC and also NPR, the Home Minister reiterated in Parliament that CAA will not take away anyone's citizenship. Also, no document will be demanded from people during the NPR exercise, and if any information is left out, then they will not be declared doubtful.
एनपीआर के लिए आप मेरे साथ कभी भी गुलाम नबी साहब आइए, 1 या 2 दिन की प्रायोरिटी में मैं आपको समय दे दूंगा और हम सार्थक चर्चा करेंगे, अधिकारियों को भी उपस्थित रखेंगे जिससे सारे भ्रमों का निरसन हो जाए। और बाद में मैं ये विनंती सारे विपक्षी दलों को करता चाहूँ, बहुत हो गया, सीए और एनपीआर पर भ्रांति बंद करने का समय आ गया है।
Earlier, members from various parties took part in the discussion in the House on the issue of violence in Delhi last month. Let's listen in.
आप प्लीज मत होने दीजिए ये, क्योंकि आप तो कहते हैं सबका विश्वास, सबका साथ, और कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि वो सबका विश्वास आप जो चाहते हैं आप ही पे ऊपर विश्वास उठ जाए। हम नहीं चाहते, हमारी सरकार है, वो विश्वास हम चाहते हैं कि बरकरार रहे।
जो कुछ हुआ, तमाम संगठनों के अकाउंट में पैसा आया और समय समय पे निकलता गया और उसी के साथ बहुत कुछ दिखता चला गया। क्या ये हमें समझ में नहीं आता कि यह षड्यंत्र कहां से शुरू हो रहा है? और मैं एक और बात कहना चाहता हूं, जब ये चीज आई है ना, अगर यह इस तरह की षड्यंत्र हमारे पड़ोस में की जा रही है तो कभी सीधे नहीं आता है, वो एक आवरण लेके आता है।
Today, I also want young India to take a look at the pictures of a judge when he's transferred from Delhi. Look at those pictures. You don't need a single word more to say. Enough said. It's another matter then you'll also get threatened in one floor of the house. Where are we headed, sir, today? Of course, these governments has achievements.
गृह मंत्री कह देगा 35 के ऊपर काम करेंगे तो करेंगे, गृह मंत्री कहेगा सीए आएगा और 1 इंच भी पीछे नहीं हटकेगा तो नहीं होगा, गृह मंत्री कहेगा एनपीआर आएगा तो एनपीआर आएगा, और गृह मंत्री कहेगा दंगाइयों को सजा मिलेगी तो आप मान लेना एक एक दंगाई को सजा मिलेगी, चाहे वो किसी भी धर्म का हो।
मैं उन सब लोगों से कहना चाहता हूं जो इस प्रीति स्पर्धा में पड़ते हैं कि 84 में इतना हुआ था तो 2002 में इतना हुआ और जो कमी रह गई अब हम उसे 2020 में पूरा करेंगे। ये कोई बहुत हेल्दी ट्रेंड कम से कम विचार विमर्श करने का या बहस का नहीं है।
I request a judicial commission under the monitoring of Supreme Court or a Supreme Court judge should be inquired in this incidents. We want we want to bring peace in this area and confidence among the people at early as possible.
बेगुनाहों को मुजरिम ना बनाया जाए, मुजरिमों को छोड़ा ना जाए। एक जुडिशियल कमीशन होना चाहिए, कोई एसआईटी से नहीं होगा। सुप्रीम कोर्ट देखे कि जांच निष्पक्ष है, जिन्होंने षड्यंत्र किया, जिन्होंने दंगा की, जिन्होंने हत्या की, जिन्होंने घर जलाए, उस हर दोषी को सजा हिंदुस्तान के कानून के तहत दी जाए।
Meanwhile, the Delhi police also asserted on Thursday that the law and order situation in the national capital is completely normal now. The Delhi police has so far registered 712 FIRs and also arrested more than 200 accused in connection with last month's violence in northeast Delhi. The police has said 7 people have been arrested in connection with the death of Delhi Police Head Constable Ratan Lal during the clashes in northeast Delhi.
अभी हम 712 एफआईआर कर चुके हैं और भी हमारे पास कंप्लेंट आएगी, उसको भी हम रजिस्टर करेंगे जिसमें भी कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस होगा। कि जैसे जैसे भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन हमारी आगे मूव हो रही है, हम अक्यूज्ड को अरेस्ट कर रहे हैं। अभी तक 200 से ऊपर हम जो अक्यूज्ड हैं उनको अरेस्ट कर चुके हैं और इसका नंबर और बढ़ेगा जैसे जैसे प्रोग्रेस आएगी। काफियों को हम आइडेंटिफाई कर चुके हैं। हर एक जो एफआईआर है उसमें अभी आगे इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है और जिन्होंने भी कानून को अपने हाथ में लिया है उनके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
In another development, the special cell of the Delhi police has arrested Popular Front of India President Mohammad Parvez Ahmed and also its secretary Mohammad Ilyas. The 2 members were reportedly taken into custody for alleged money laundering and financing Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act protests across the country. Also, the Delhi police's special cell apprehended a man in connection with the killing of IB staffer Ankit Sharma during the violence in Delhi's Northeast district last month. The accused has been identified as Salman alias Nanhe. Earlier, the police had arrested suspended Aam Aadmi Party councillor Tahir Hussain in the case. In some other news, the Upper House has passed the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code's Second Amendment Bill, which will replace an ordinance brought earlier. The amendments will ensure that successful bidders of insolvent companies are protected from any risk of criminal proceedings for offences committed by previous promoters.
The Upper House on Thursday passed the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the code aims to protect the interests of small investors and financial creditors and ensure ease of doing business in India.
Total cases dealt by NCLT, and I'm giving as on 31st January 2020. M&As are 10,429. IBC related cases are 27,107. Others are 26,987, totaling 64,523. But from among them, cases disposed by NCLT, I just refer to the IBC related ones. Cases totally disposed of by NCLT are 43,102. Only IBC related cases from among the 43,102 are 14,977. And again, the number of cases pending with the NCLT, IBC alone, the total number of pending cases are 21,421, and IBC related in that 21,421 are 12,130.
Members cutting across party lines participated in the discussion and urged the government to protect the interests of home buyers and MSMEs.
Small and micro, medium and small enterprises are now being mandated by law to continue supplying goods and services to a bankrupt company where the risk of default is very high. So the Standing Committee had made an examination of this clause and had unanimously recommended that this clause be deleted.
Sir, in any industry, there are many products, many spares, which are proprietary to a particular company. If that particular spare or component is not supplied by the supplier who has to receive money, let's agree that, then that whole unit will come to a stop. This is not the intention. The basic intent, what I understand under IBC, is that the unit should keep running. It should not stop at any cost.
The question of goods and service for survival of the MSME should be, the clause 5, should be examined with proper attention by the Honorable Finance Minister.
पूरी दुनिया में कॉर्पोरेट शार्क्स हैं, इनके बारे में सब लोग जानते हैं। सिर्फ आज लोग काम करके नहीं कमा रहे हैं, आज कंपनियों का शिकार करके लोग अपनी पूंजी बढ़ा रहे हैं। किसी एक कंपनी ने, बड़ी कंपनी ने गवर्नमेंट के प्रोटेक्शन में या किसी दूसरी संस्था के प्रोटेक्शन में एक ऐसा सिस्टम बना लिया कि वो अपनी पूंजी बहुत तेजी से बढ़ा ले जा रही है।
So many of the companies, big companies, have huge outstandings of water tax and electricity dues in the states. Now those are state government receipts, those are municipal receipts. Now if you waive those off while when a new management comes, the state government would be left high and dry, the municipal bodies would be left high and dry. Whether that would be acceptable is something that one has to consider.
Almost all 13,200 cases has been disposed of by the IBC. 190 cases involving claims of 3.67 crores were resolved with a realizable amount of around 1.57 lakh crores. Some data is available, but it is really what Jairam ji told, the data that is contradicting this figure. I request the Honorable Minister to clarify the actual data on the IBC.
The Supreme Court had already acknowledged that the home buyers are also a financial creditor and they have got every right to approach the NCLT, and that right is being curtailed by this
by this amendment.
The amendments seek to remove bottlenecks and streamline the corporate insolvency resolution process. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The Rajya Sabha also passed the Mineral Laws Amendment Bill 2020 on Thursday to replace an ordinance that was promulgated by the government on the 10th of January this year. The bill seeks to open up the coal sector completely for commercial mining for all local as well as global firms after easing restrictions.
The Upper House on Thursday passed the Mineral Laws Amendment Bill 2020. The bill amends the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 and the Coal Mines Special Provisions Act 2015. Coal Minister Prahlad Joshi said the amendment will help attract more participation in coal block auctions.
We have to produce the coal which is, we have the reserve, and we should see that the import is reduced. By that, we can produce more electricity, and by that, to the extent, we can reduce the import of oil also. The process should be fast-tracked so that our natural resources can be used, and by that, the economy will grow. CIL will be strengthened, and I have given the target to the CIL, and new CMD has also come, 1 billion ton production by 23-24.
Participating in the discussion, members underscored the need to increase coal production in the country.
It also allows global players to come in this sector, invest in this sector through the FDI route, and that's the way the FDI is going to be attracted. But the other factors that practically come with the baggage of FDI has to be looked into objectively, and that has not been taken care of in this particular bill.
So it's a very timely ordinance which, Honorable Minister, I really thank you for bringing this, and it has given confidence in the entire steel sector that yes, the government is aware of the issues, it is willing to bite the bullet and willing to take the timely actions.
The government should make sure that the surrounding factors are enabling in nature, like the kind of coal blocks offered, the infrastructure available, the government's ability to ease the regulatory hurdles, such as the process of obtaining clearances and clearing of mining plans and leases.
जब हमारे पास कोल इंडिया कंपनी है, उसको मजबूत करने के लिए सरकार ने क्या उपाय किए हैं, और जो हमारे देश की कंपनियां हैं, जो कोल माइंस में काम करती हैं, उनको मजबूत, देसी कंपनी को मजबूत करने के लिए सरकार को उपाय करना चाहिए.
India imported 235 million tons coal worth 1.75 lakh crore rupees last year. Of this, 100 million tons was non-substitutable coking coal. However, the government hopes to stop coal imports by power plants in due course. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And talking about the coronavirus outbreak, the number of coronavirus patients in India has risen to 74, with 14 fresh cases, including 9 from Maharashtra and 1 each from Delhi, Ladakh, Uttar Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh, as well as 1 foreign national. According to the Union Health Ministry, Delhi reported 6 positive cases and Uttar Pradesh 10. Karnataka has 4 cases, Maharashtra 11 and Ladakh 3 cases. Besides, Rajasthan, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh and also Punjab have reported 1 case each, while Kerala has recorded 17 cases, including 3 patients who were discharged last month after they recovered. The total number of 74 confirmed cases includes 17 foreigners as well, which includes 16 Italian tourists and 1 Canadian national. Air India has cancelled flights to Rome, Milan and Seoul. India has also suspended all visas except a few categories such as diplomatic and employment till the 15th of April in a bid to contain the coronavirus spread, according to a revised travel advisory. The MEA has also asked Indians living abroad to avoid all kinds of travel and stay where they are. The Health Ministry has asked people not to panic in the wake of the increasing number of coronavirus cases, saying the focus is on preventive approach and there are adequate facilities available for testing. Ministry officials also said that coronavirus is difficult to isolate and developing a vaccine will take at least 1.5 to 2 years. As per the Health Ministry, India's efforts to deal with coronavirus are in consonance with the World Health Organization, with a focus on preventive approach.
We are dealing with infectious disease management here. And in infectious disease management, the moment we find a single case, we do a proper screening of that patient. We identify whom has he got in touch since the time he has entered into country or even otherwise in the last few days. All those people get traced, monitored. They are monitored symptomatically. उसके बाद हमारी सैम्पलिंग गाइडलाइंस के तहत अगर उनको हमें होम क्वारंटाइन या उनको टची सेक्टर में एडमिशन या उनका हमें सैम्पलिंग करनी पड़ती है, वो हम करते हैं. See, it is very important that we should not create panic. Only people who need to be tested should be tested. Similarly, with respect to the testing regions you mentioned, country is already prepared. We already have around 1 lakh testing kits available. Additional testing kits have already been ordered and they're also in procurement.
Looking at the current situation, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the government is fully vigilant about the situation, urging people to say no to panic and yes to precautions. He also said that across ministries and states, multiple steps have been proactively taken to ensure safety of all. In the wake of the novel coronavirus outbreak, the Delhi government has declared this as an epidemic, advising schools and colleges to shut down till the 31st of March. All cinema halls will also remain closed till the end of this month, and all public places, including government and private offices as well as shopping malls, have been asked to disinfect compulsorily.
सभी सिनेमा हॉल्स 31 मार्च तक के लिए बंद किए जा रहे हैं. सभी स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस जहां पे एग्ज़ाम्स नहीं हैं, जो एग्ज़ाम्स हैं बस वो चलते रहेंगे. बाकी सभी स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस 31 मार्च तक के लिए बंद कर दिए जाएंगे. जो क्वारंटाइन करने के लिए सफिशेंट बेड्स हम लोगों के पास हैं, मतलब अगर किसी को आइसोलेशन में रखना है, क्वारंटाइन करना है, तो उसके लिए सफिशेंट बेड्स का इंतजाम किया गया है.
As a precautionary measure against the spread of COVID-19, Rashtrapati Bhavan will also remain closed for exploratory tour visits from the 13th of March until further notice. The Rashtrapati Bhavan Museum Complex and the Change of Guard ceremony will also not be open to public till further notice. And amid the coronavirus scare in India, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu on Thursday said there is no need to panic, but he urged people to initiate required preparedness and also action.
Honourable members, I urge all of you to reach out to people, asking them to exercise caution about coronavirus without panicking by maintaining sanitation and other measures as is being advised by the government and the World Health Organization. Members, in particular, shall also be careful while meeting and greeting people, especially while dealing with people who have recently travelled in and out of the country, including foreigners. Now that the WHO has declared COVID-19 a pandemic, our country needs to take lead in containing the spread of coronavirus, and it is the collective responsibility of all of us.
Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan on Thursday sought cooperation from Lok Sabha members to deal with the coronavirus outbreak. He requested parliamentarians to help in spreading awareness in the country. Briefing Lok Sabha on coronavirus situation, the minister said steps are being taken to track people who have been affected. He also said about 35,000 people are engaged in community surveillance, adding that the ministry is constantly in touch with states on the matter.
हमारे इस समय देश में 51 लेबोरेटरीज और 56 जगह पर जो है कलेक्शन सेंटर्स, यानी मोर देन 100 प्लेसेस पर हमारी ये एक्टिविटी कोऑर्डिनेट हो रही है. वी वेंट अप टू द एक्सटेंट कि जब ईरान गवर्नमेंट ने कहा कि वो जो वहाँ पर लोग हैं उनको टेस्ट वगैरह करने का उनके पास कोई मैकेनिज्म नहीं है, दे कांट हेल्प अस ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ दैट इशू, हमने यहाँ से अपने वैज्ञानिक भेजे, हमने यहाँ से अपनी पूरी की पूरी लैब, which is not a simple thing, but you can say the weight of the whole lab is in tons, वो सारा का सारा वहाँ भेजा. और अपने वहाँ कोशिश किया कि कस्टम से क्लियरेंस करके हम लैब को एस्टैब्लिश वहाँ पर कर दें और बाद में उस लैब को ईरान को ही डोनेट कर दें। अभी वो कस्टम से क्लियरेंस वगैरह का प्रोसेस जो है एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्ट्री का है, बट व्हेन वी सॉ दैट देयर वाज अ डिले इन दैट, वी डिवाइज्ड एन ऑल्टरनेटिव मैकेनिज्म जिसमें वहाँ से हमारे वैज्ञानिक वहाँ के लोगों का सैंपल जो है कोल्ड चेन को मेंटेन करके जो उनका थ्रोट का स्वैब है उसको यहाँ लेके आते हैं, यहाँ से हम उसको टेस्ट करते हैं और जिनके नेगेटिव्स आ रहे हैं उन नेगेटिव्स को हम जो है वापस जो है पैसेंजर्स को यहाँ पर वापस ला रहे हैं, उनको क्वारंटाइन कर रहे हैं।
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar also spoke in the Lok Sabha, saying that the government is trying to ensure the well-being of Indians stranded in Iran and Iraq.
It is natural that there would be situations of different degrees of gravity in different parts of the world. As a government, we will assess these in terms of their urgency and seriousness and respond accordingly. As the House would have noted, where specific interventions are required, as in the case of Wuhan in China, the Diamond Princess crew in Japan, or now the pilgrims in Iran, we will take necessary action. But these are exceptional situations that require exceptional response. At this time, travel in itself is not recommended as it only heightens risks.
The Ministry of External Affairs has also advised against holding this year's IPL edition in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak, but has left it to the organizers to take a final call on it. However, foreign players due to take part in the IPL beginning 29th of March will be unavailable at least till the 15th of April due to the government-imposed visa restrictions. The BCCI said the final day of the Ranji Trophy Summit clash between Bengal and Saurashtra will be played without any spectators due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, the national cricket team's home ODIs against South Africa in Lucknow and also in Kolkata are likely to be played behind closed doors after the series opener was washed out in Dharamshala. The Indian Open golf tournament, scheduled to run from the 19th to 22nd of March, has also been postponed, while the Indian Open badminton tournament from the 24th to 29th of March will be held without spectators. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday to discuss the coordinated international efforts required to tackle the spread of the deadly coronavirus. While India has cancelled all incoming visas until 15th April to try and curb the spread of the coronavirus, the UK has stepped up its preparations to move from the containment phase to delaying its spread further. The BSE Sensex plunged over 2,919 points on Thursday in its biggest one-day fall in absolute terms as the coronavirus pandemic wreaked havoc on global markets. After nosediving over 3,204 points during the day, the 30-share index settled 2,919.26 points lower at 32,778.14. Likewise, the broader NSE Nifty gave up the 9,600 level, slumping 868.25 points to close at 9,590.15. Global markets reeled after the WHO termed the coronavirus outbreak a pandemic and expressed deep concern over the alarming levels of inaction worldwide. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Thursday interacted with sportspersons from the Punjab University who had participated in the Khelo India University Games. Stating that sports bring a feeling of social cohesion, team spirit and self-confidence among the youth, the Vice President called upon all educational institutions to encourage and promote sports among children right from school age.
This is the need of the hour, to make this into a people's movement. It should not be confined to government, center or state. It should not be confined to universities or colleges. Every school, every college, every university must give utmost importance in promoting sports, in recognizing the talent among the children and give them special coaching and also encouragement.
The The Vice President also advised children to remain physically fit and mentally alert and said that it is time to make India a global sports superpower. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.